I'm Vince Hubbard, a member of the Board of Directors of the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, and am here interviewing with David Small from the UK, who is doing some business and work in the archives and with some of the old documentation that we have in the courthouse. David, can you explain to us exactly what you're up to, or close to it?
Certainly. I'm here looking at the court records in the Nevis Court House. The state of those records is a little alarming, and we are concerned, the historians who work with the records are concerned that they should be cared for and looked after. And one of the ways of doing this is to preserve them on microfilm or digital photography, through digital photography, and then make them accessible to everybody.
Well, I was just going to say, we know we have had direct experience here with losses of archives several times in the past, the most recent being 1982, when the archives in St. Kitts were burnt and we lost a great deal of Nevis material. And I think it's definitely in the interest of everybody to have copies of those documents made in case of hurricane, fire, God forbid, whatever.
One of the problems with the records is, as it were, benign neglect. The spines get taken. If they're not carefully organised, then you take a volume out and the spine gets ripped in the process, and they're not labelled, and so on. So hopefully we can avoid all of that by using copies either on microfilm or on camera. Everybody needs to understand I'm only here to look at the possibility of doing that. In fact, I'm not here taking pictures.
And you're not putting pesticide in the books to keep the bookworms from eating all of the documents too?
Absolutely not. Apparently the latest thinking on that is not to do that.
Really?
Fact, yeah, it's to isolate them and clean them up and so on. The whole process of fumigation apparently does more harm to the people who do the fumigating than it does to the insects. So
put them in a freezer.
Even that apparently doesn't.
Really?
Yes. So the material I've been reading suggests you never get the temperature down quickly enough to kill off the insects. So there are lots of things to think about in terms of looking after those records.
Well, that's very interesting, and I'm very optimistic that something will be done that's favourable, because we certainly need it.
Good.